News arrives in the Miami kitchen that Rose's beloved Aunt Gretchen has passed away in the Bahamas, and family tradition, the tongue-twisting Genuptionlucken, dictates the eldest niece must deliver the eulogy. Public speaking is Rose's lifelong nightmare. At her high school graduation, she froze so completely the band vamped anchors away for 6 minutes, while faculty fanned her with diplomas. Hearing that story, Blanche announces she's never been afraid of anything since she tamed prom night with a strapless gown and sheer willpower. Dorothy scoffs. Sophia brandishes a bubbling pan of veal parmesan she's entering in the Daughters of Italy cooking contest and claims she is fearless unless someone under-seasons sauce. When Dorothy later admits she once needed therapy to fly without hyperventilating, the table suddenly brims with confessions. Fear lurks behind every shoulder pad. Rose begs her roommates to accompany her so she can lean on moral support all the way to Nassau. Dorothy hesitates, cheeks blanching at the word plane. Blanche volunteers with breezy charm until she remembers her recurring nightmare. She's trapped on an aircraft packed with bald men, while a thunderstorm rages and God's disembodied voice critiques her lipstick shade. Sophia declares she'll stay behind to simmer sauce, trade wisecracks, and make sure no one steals the silver, while the nervous Nellies chase their phobias overseas. Tickets booked, hotel reserved, and coffin spray ordered, the episode sets its stage. Three women about to duel their deepest terrors at 30,000 feet, one matriarch ready to win immortality via veal. Preparation turns the bungalow into a boot camp of coping techniques. Dorothy coaches Rose with the classic, picture the audience naked exercise. Blanche, walking past, quips that imagining nude Lutherans is hardly comforting. Those corn-fed boys are too polite to flex. Rose gamely tries a practice speech, while the others lounge in robes. Mid-sentence, she locks up, announces her tongue is glued to her molars, and bolts for cheesecake. Meanwhile, Dorothy steels herself for flight by reading turbulence statistics aloud until the numbers blur. Each time the word fatality appears, she slams the book shut and switches to Highlights magazine. Blanche flips through fashion spreads to prove she's unfazed, yet every bald male model makes her gasp. Sophia, apron aflutter, turns the living room into a test kitchen, insisting the aroma of garlic and courage will greet them upon safe return. Departure day dawns steamy and bright, perfect flying weather, according to every weatherman. Dorothy invents a last-minute excuse. Sophia is violently ill and must go to the hospital. Unfortunately, Sophia walks through the door in full contest regalia, trophy-size mixing spoon in hand, and demands a ride to the Civic Center. Dorothy's lie collapses like a souffle in a stampede. Forced onto the airport shuttle, she grips her carry-on so tight the handle squeaks. Blanche fingers a silk scarf, praying it repels baldness the way garlic repels vampires. Rose carries neatly typed cue cards she refuses to read. Looking at them feels like staring into the sun. As the jet engines roar, the girl's bravado drops to tray table height. The flight begins smoothly, but the first dollop of turbulence rattles overhead bins, and Dorothy's remaining composure. She mashes the call button so often, the stewardess brings a complimentary bottle of champagne for the entire row. And ma'am, maybe start with the cork. Blanche's nightmare edges toward reality. Across the aisle sit three jovial, bald businessmen comparing toupee horror stories. With every bounce, Blanche hears phantom thunder and braces for divine commentary on her blush palette. Rose, wedged between them, studies her cards while mouthing words. Each jolt scatters syllables like rice at a wedding. Mid-flight, the captain announces an approaching tropical storm cell. Oxygen masks don't drop, but Dorothy imagines them descending in judgment. She clutches Blanche's hand. Blanche screams that sweaty palms were not in her dream script. The bald trio try to reassure her, but their shiny heads glisten under cabin lights, amplifying Blanche's terror. In an effort to distract herself, Rose rises, planning to rehearse the eulogy in the aisle, but freezes when 40 pairs of eyes swivel toward her. She utters, "We are gathered," then squeaks like a door hinge and collapses back into her seat. Panic ricochets among them until the pilot announces the storm is worsening. For safety, they'll return to Miami. Relief and mortification duel in Dorothy's stomach. She escaped the Bahamas, but only by spending 2 hours trapped in airborne hell. Stranded at Gate 18 with plastic seats biting into tired backs, the girls grapple with smoldering disappointment. Rose sobs that Aunt Gretchen will be buried without a single St. Olaf hymn, breaking a century of family tradition. Dorothy feels her own failure smolder. Therapy apparently hadn't patched the last crack in her fear of flying. Blanche, mascara smudged from decibel-level screaming, admits bald men aren't monstrous. Fear is. A circle of eavesdropping passengers grows, drawn by equal parts curiosity and sympathy. Sophia, summoned by payphone, misses her cooking contest acceptance speech, but races to the airport with a Tupperware of victory veal. She won first prize. She finds her friends wilted under fluorescent lights and instantly senses an emotional boil-over. Dorothy wipes her eyes, straightens her shoulders, and tells Rose the funeral isn't about geography. It's about honoring love. She orders Rose to deliver that eulogy right here. Rose balks until Blanche presses a lipstick into her palm and says, "Courage looks good in any shade." Dorothy claps twice for attention. Weary travelers quiet down. Rose steps onto a chair, heart hammering louder than the intercom. Remembering Dorothy's naked audience trick, she imagines the motley group in nothing but carry-on luggage, which sparks a surprising grin. She breathes deep, opens her cue cards, and begins. Words flow like honey warmed by grief and affection. Rose recounts Aunt Gretchen's orchid-pink laugh, her habit of mailing summer sausage for Valentine's Day, and her unwavering belief that love is a quilt stitched from imperfections. Passengers lean in, a toddler hushes, even the gate agent stops typing. When Rose's voice wavers, Dorothy mouths encouragement, Blanche squeezes her ankle, and Sophia waves a meatball on a toothpick like a pep flag. Rose concludes by urging everyone to call someone they fear has forgotten them. Because courage isn't the absence of fright, it's dialing anyway. Applause erupts, echoing along the terminal. A stranger records the speech on his camcorder and offers to mail the tape to Gretchen's pastor, ensuring the family hears every syllable. As adrenaline drains, Rose realizes she spoke for 8 full minutes without freezing. Dorothy laughs that her fear of flying didn't vanish, but at least I took off and landed without climbing into the overhead bin. Blanche, suddenly serene, approaches the nearest bald businessman, thanks him for existing, and plants a grateful kiss on his gleaming dome. He blushes, his wife howls with laughter. Sophia distributes contest-winning veal parmesan in plastic forks pilfered from a food court, declaring it the perfect sacramental meal after conquering mortal dread. The 4 friends toast with airport-grade coffee, terrible, scalding, and somehow perfect. Back at the bungalow that night, storm clouds finally split to reveal a moon bright enough to illuminate fresh roof repairs from episode 2. Rose phones her family, discovering the funeral director played the camcorder tape at the graveside service. Relatives say her words wrapped the casket in warmth no tropical sun could match. Dorothy schedules a short, fear-free commuter flight lesson. Next month, baby steps. Blanche frames the bald businessman's boarding pass alongside her dream journal with a caption, "Proof nightmares can end in kisses." Sophia polishes her trophy, insisting the real victory was seeing her girls stir courage like marinara. Slow heat, plenty of heart, never breaks. They gather around midnight cheesecake, drizzled with symbolic veal parmesan sauce. Rose's idea, instantly vetoed. Instead, they settle for strawberries and a shared resolution to confront whatever phobia life hurls next. Whether it's sky-high turbulence or public speaking jitters, Dorothy lifts her fork. To fears-faced, not feared, Blanche adds, and to the bald, the bold, and the beautiful. Rose giggles. Sophia declares the toast good enough to scare away bad luck for another season. Sweet laughter fades into the Miami night, proof that friendship, like courage, expands every time it's shared.